If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me. I thought that I was. If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need no glory, you don't have to know my story. Glad I made it out this world cause this world was never for me. I thought that I was. If it wasn't for the Most High who was on my side, man, ain't no telling where I'd be.
Mr. Wilson would've known.
Can't nobody tell me nothing different. The Father's been good to me.
So good to me.
Yeah. Wave your hands if you feel me. I'm a witness. Yahweh's been good to me.
So good to me.
Every morning that I rise, I thank Yahweh that I'm living. Keep my enemies at bay and never leave without my fringes. 1611 with me cause I'm on a mission. Talking sheep, I pay the cost, me and my lines really live it. I don't need.
Shalom, Israel. Welcome back to Deaconstruction. All praises to the Most High. To my left is
Deacon Kanash.
and all praise to the Most High, I'm Deacon Shamar. Tonight, the lesson is going to be called Push, right? Something along the lines of dedication, right? That's the season that we're in. Remembering that this is a season of joy and pain, right? It has been a season of war historically. It's a season of anguish, and it's a season of victory, right? So taking all those things into consideration, we're not going to be before you too long, most High willing. But we just want to kind of highlight some of those things coming out of this, of the Feast of Dedication, seeing the different things that are befalling people, experiencing our own tribulations and trials in this walk, right? Let's go to James chapter 1. It's like that every year, right? That's when it seemed like people start having financial issues, people start having family problems, losses, right? Sickness, right? I'm at the tail end of some sickness. It just seems to happen that way, right? This just seems to be the harsh winter. James 1 and 12.
James chapter 1 and verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Blessed is the man that endureth temptation,
Uh-huh.
for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life,
Go ahead.
which the Lord hath promised to them that love him.
So he said, blessed is the man that endures temptation. And Bishop Bonilla just brought this up in the lesson earlier tonight, room 144. He said, the man that endures temptation, and it doesn't say if he endures temptation in the sense of if temptation befalls him. It's saying in the sense of when that temptation comes. In this life, there's going to be temptation. There's going to be times where you go through it. And typically people do kind of default to judgment and sometimes negativity. But it's unfortunate because a lot of times we do have a hard time putting things in a perspective, right? Sometimes people are overly confident, right? Knowing that they're doing wrong, not feeling like it's judgment. Sometimes people are trying to do the right thing and still they start to discourage themselves in their minds, feeling like everything is judgment. But it's all a part of the test. It's all a part of the tribulation. And he says, blessed is the man that is able to overcome, because that's how you receive your crown. Let's go to John 16. Let's start at verse 19, and let's read down to 22.
John chapter 16 and verse 19.
Uh-huh.
Now Yahushua knew that they were desirous to ask him,
Uh-huh.
and said unto him, Do ye inquire among yourselves of that I said? A little while, and ye shall not see me, and again a little while, and ye shall see me.
Uh-huh.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, that ye shall weep and lament, but the world shall rejoice, and ye shall be sorrowful, but your sorrow shall be turned into joy.
Now, this is for those that he's talking to, that he's talking about being righteous. It's not even like it's some kind of mystery. You know, sometimes you could say, oh, you know, that's just, yeah, that's the way it's set up. There were so many people who were righteous, and very few of the times that our people had wealth, or very few of the times that our people were striving to be righteous was their wealth. You do have Abraham, you have Lot and Laban, you have Job, right? And mind you, it don't say that Job was an Israelite. It doesn't say that he had a tribe, right? So this is likely before the time of Jacob, right? You don't see a whole lot of wealthy individuals. Okay, you see a few people in the king's lineage, right, that were wealthy. But for the most part, most of the righteous went through hard times in just about every way imaginable, right? They didn't have a whole lot. They weren't regarded as much. They weren't always praised and exalted. Let's read on.
Verse 21. A woman, when she is in travail, hath sorrow, because her horror is come.
Her hour.
Salakia, her hour is come. It is. Yeah, it is a horror. But as soon as she is delivered of the child, she remembereth no more the anguish for joy that a man is born into the world.
So that's the thing, right? Now, that's the course that the world is on, right? It's interesting being able to talk to different people and having, you know, interviews and podcasts, because you get to see a lot of what the world thinks. You get to see a lot of what people view, right? Or their views of the world. A lot of people feel like, oh, we just got to do this. You just got to keep praying. It's going to get better. Yeah, but they're not even keeping the commandments. Not knowing the Lord, not knowing that they're Israel, right? And oftentimes not desiring to be an Israelite or know the Lord. But he said it's like a woman in travail, right? She's getting ready to push. She's getting ready to deliver. And as those contractions get closer and closer, they get more intense. And her hour is upon her, right? She's in anguish. Nothing is as important as the pain she's feeling. She not going, I don't know, I've never seen a woman giving birth and be like, did I leave the stove on? Did I leave the water? She's not thinking about that. It's just about the tribulation in that moment. Mm-hmm. That's what's, right? What's at the forefront. And then when she gives birth, it says now all of that is forgotten. All of that is kind of like put on the back burner. A few months after that extreme moment that she was experiencing, she's not experiencing that pain and that level of concern anymore. Now she has the joy of her child. Now she's changing diapers and you know, giving this child suck, right? Mm-hmm. That's the same thing that the world experiences as a whole, but the rejoicing is not going to come for everybody. But if you are striving to keep these commandments and you're striving to be righteous and you are doing what thus saith the Lord, your joy is going to come. You're going to be able to rejoice at the change that's brought into your life. And it may not be physical. It may not be monetary. Sometimes we have a hard time viewing blessings as anything outside of money. Mm-hmm. I remember a brother years ago, he said, the Most High is going to work a work. Next thing you know, things changed in his life, and it wasn't financial. I don't want to say he was disappointed, but it was like, dude, the Most High did work a work. Look at how beautiful of things that are going on in your life. Right. it ain't just about, the money you going to touch or all that type of stuff. Yeah, we know why that's such an important thing, because we live in a world that everything is what is it called? Bureaucratic. Everything is bureaucracy. You can't. We're long past the days where you can go to some uncharted land and say, okay, this is where I'm gonna start my home and my family. It probably belongs to somebody. It's paperwork. It's taxes. Like, who am I paying tax to in the middle of nowhere? Somebody gonna find a way. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, when you strive and you're trying to be righteous, the joy that you have at the end of the day is at the end of your life, at the end of your course. We have a kingdom waiting for us, Lord willing. That's the joy. That's the deliverance that we're still hoping for. That's the deliverance that we're putting our hope into and our faith into. One day, we're going to be delivered as a people for those that choose to be righteous. For the others, hey, try to warn them, do what you can, but people going to make their choices. He's gonna say that. Let's go to Isaiah 53. To that point, right? Let's briefly talk about Christ. 53, we're going to read 1 through 5.
Isaiah chapter 53 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Who have believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. Mm-hmm. He have no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him.
So first and foremost, that's talking about his physical, because he had a beautiful spirit, right? He's the son of the Most High God. But as for his physical form, there's reports on it. He was not a good-looking dude, right? He wasn't somebody that when he walked in the room, because, being comely, especially because we in California, right? We in L.A. A lot of people act Hollywood and have never seen Hollywood. They've never been around Hollywood. They never are in restaurants and in circles where you see stuff. That's not as uncommon for us. You could be at a store and be like, oh, snap, there go a multi-millionaire Grammy winner. There go so-and-so. There go, it's plenty of celebrities that just kind of are around, right? People get a lot of respect based on their presentation. Oftentimes to a fault. It could be a bad person, terrible character, slick, conniving, deceitful, but because they look good, they get a certain level of respect, a certain level of reverence just for their appearance alone. Mm-hmm. Christ didn't have that. He didn't have the type of stature, the type of beauty, the type of comeliness to where he walked in a room and you just wanted to hear what he had to say because he just had this amazing form. He didn't have this. So that's one thing, right? His physical form was not beautiful. Let's read on.
Verse 3, He is despised and rejected of men, and a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief.
He is despised, hated, and rejected. Now, mind you, this is the Christ. This is he who is entrusted with the Most High's plan of creation. He that was instructing and speaking, let there be light. Despised, hated, and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. The life that he lived, especially when he came as Yahweh Shai, it wasn't filled with just the good times. As much as he was coming to give the good news, he knew what he was up against. He knew, all right, it's going to be a lot of people that hate me. It's going to be a lot of people it's going to even be people that try to kill him. And throughout all of that, he has to show restraint. It said he was acquainted with grief. You know what acquainted? Let's get that real quick. Acquainted. Yeah. Acquainted, it says make someone aware or familiar with. Right? Get that Miriam. Having personal knowledge of something, having met, being known, and having knowledge of someone. It said he knew grief. Yep. He knew. So he didn't have the comeliness that would make you want to speak with him or make you revere him. Even of those that did know him, he was despised and rejected, right? And then it said he was a man of sorrows, acquainted with grief. Sometimes people will just go, they put on a nice outfit and go somewhere public. I'm going to go to the bar, I'm going to go to the movies by myself, go to dinner by myself. They like a little bit of attention. It kind of boosts them up. They go home after a little night out. Oh, I still got it. Christ wasn't doing that. Even if he had a moment to himself, he didn't have the type of comeliness that people was attracted to and approaching. Mm-hmm. Let's read on. It said, he is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. Go ahead.
And we hid, as it were, our faces from him.
Uh-huh.
And he was despised, and we esteemed him not.
Does that feel like, or does it sound like the type of life that most people would enjoy living? If nothing else, people like being accepted. That's the whole big thing that's in the world nowadays is to come as you are, and then you got to, as they say, find your people. Oh, you want to be, whatever, right? Whatever type of sexuality, whatever type of beliefs, whatever type of diet, whatever type of care, whatever type of health. It's like, just find your people. Mm-hmm. And you'll find a place or a community, no matter how weird, no matter how secret, no matter how few, you'll find your place where you belong. But he was, everywhere that he was going, with save a very slim few, he was rejected. It was a hard time. It was a hard time finding his people, even though he was surrounded by his people. Read on.
Surely he have borne our grief and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted.
Now, he knows, and he knew he was here to give repentance to Israel. He knew he was here to be a sacrifice. He knew he was Israel's only shot at repentance and returning to the Most High. But the very people that he was here for, they didn't even regard that. They wasn't, most people, 99% plus of people, that the vast majority of the people he was coming across, they were not openly willing to accept him. Mm-hmm. And greeting him with gifts, or greeting him with celebration, greeting him with reverence, greeting him with excitement. Oh, thank God. Israel is tore up. Thank God you're here. Our doctrines are all messed up. Thank God you're here. Our traditions are traditions of men. Thank God you're here to reset us. That was not the type of greetings that he was getting. No. He was people hated him. Oh, here come Yahweh Shai. Israel talk. Israel can see your flaws from a mile away. I'm pretty sure they were saying things about him. Mm-hmm. Outside of the spirit that he had, outside of the righteousness that he was doing, and even then they started to try and destroy that. There was nothing that he did that nobody tried to tear down or taint.
Mm-hmm. This the crazy thing. They say everybody loves women and children, mm-hmm. but men, you gotta be tough and take it on the shoulder. So when Christ was born, they bore him.
That's facts.
A lot of people came to him like, oh, this is the Savior right here. But when he got older, when he became that man and he started to, do the things that he did, rebuke, resort, it was they started to despise him.
Yeah. That's
they
crazy.
They didn't want to hear that. So he had it for a moment of time.
Right.
And that was as a child.
Man. And then as he got older, they like, all right, people drifted away.
And of course, it's not to say like those, like his peers around him, like, his mother, his father, his uncle, his cousins and stuff. Of course, they loved him. But the scriptures say that a prophet is not known in his own home. Yeah. So, like eventually, even those who were close to him is just like,
yeah.
Just like how we come into this truth, and
Yeah,
our
get-
parents and our cousins and our uncles and aunties, they like, you ain't that same person that that
Right.
we knew,
Right. You get ostracized.
Yeah, but Christ was on a whole nother mission, so you can only imagine what he was going through. So,
And this is the Christ.
mm-hmm.
And from what I remember, I only even ever seen one person like really like, all right, yeah, I know who you. Nicodemus was like, okay, it's a good thing you're here to bear the iniquities and the things of the people.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, he went to him in secret. Ain't nobody openly supporting him like that.
Right.
Ain't nobody openly loving him like that.
Right.
It was always, for the most part, it was always behind closed doors and in small circles. There were a few people that loved him.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like really loved him. Oh, I'll wash your feet with my hair. I'll give you of my best oils. You can come spend the night at my house. You ain't got to be out there uncomfortable. It was a few people.
And that's why he said, if you openly confess me,
Yeah.
the Father will give you praise.
Yeah. He said you're going to be
sure.
known. He said, I'm going to claim you openly before my Father.
For sure.
Because look at how few people was willing to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even like just the threat of death, because I'm not even going to, just highlight the mistakes of Peter. I'm not just going to highlight his mistake. But most people wasn't even necessarily having the threat of death and wasn't claiming him and didn't want to be seen with him and didn't want to be around him. That's the Christ. So he said, look, the things that he went through, we're going to go through. In our own ways, in our own levels, right? Being ostracized from our families. And it's not like you have to be, like, it ain't like a checklist where you got to be hated by your family in order to be righteous. Sometimes you can keep a good relationship and people respect what you do. It's people in, my family that are, oh, I support what you got going. I'll be seeing y'all out there. Now, they may not ever come here. They might not ever come to a class. But, I don't have to just insult them or, do something unnecessary just to be hated.
Right.
But the thing was, he didn't either. People just didn't like him. Especially when he got to speaking on the things that he was speaking on and telling them what was required in order to achieve salvation. Let's go to John 21 and 25. Because look at all the things that Christ was doing. He wasn't like no rinky-dink leader. He wasn't no part-timer. He was so dedicated, devout, so excellent in what he did, compassionate in what he did. Never let the world harden him. Never let the world make him a monster, even though everybody basically wanted him to be. And in the end, even accused him of being a monster. 21-25.
John chapter 21 and verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
And there are also many other things.
My bad. You started 24. Above it.
John chapter 21, verse 24.
Uh-huh.
This is the disciple which testifieth of these things and wrote these things, and we know that his testimony is true.
Go ahead.
And there are also many other things which Yahushua did, the which, if they should be written, every one, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that should be written. Amen.
And look at all that he did. Even with being ostracized, even with being rejected, even with being very scarcely loved, even with being acquainted with grief, even with not even being the best looking man, he still did so much good in his life. They saying, man, I think if we tried to put everything you did in books, the whole world couldn't contain it. And I'm assuming that they not, I mean, you could include oceans, but let's just say we're talking about dry ground because we're talking about books. You know how much landmass there is on Earth? There are still to this day uncontacted tribes and uncontacted remote places of the earth that are being discovered. Mm-hmm. And he said, if we were to put everything that you did in a book, page by page, book after book, the whole world would be filled up. Christ stuck to what he needed to do. And he continued to be who he was despite the adversity. He continued to let that beauty that was given in his spirit to shine forth and be a benefit and an asset to his people, even despite everything that he was going through. And even despite the fact that people weren't really rewarding. I think a lot of times it becomes easier to accomplish a goal when not only you start to see results, but other people start to see results. And then people, dang, all right, okay, your transformation looking good. I can see you been in the gym. Oh, dang, your music taking off. Dang, yo, this, whatever it is that okay, it's really, you got your followers up, yada, yada, right? Excuse me. He wasn't experiencing the accolades of a lot of people. And it was the very people he was there to do it for. The ones that should have been the most grateful was were the most frustrated and showed the most hatred. Let's go to 2 Corinthians 11. And not just Christ, right? 2 Corinthians 11, 22 through 28.
2 Corinthians chapter 22, Salakia chapter 11, verse 22.
Uh-huh.
Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. Are they ministers of Christ? I speak as a fool. I am more. In labors more abundant, in stripes above measure, in prisons more frequent, in deaths oft.
Uh-huh.
Of the Jews 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one.
Uh-huh.
Thrice was I beaten with rods. Once was I stoned. Thrice I suffered shipwreck. A night and a day I have been in the deep.
Good Lord. Paul said, are they Israelites? So am I. Are they Hebrews? So am I. They have the seed of Abraham? I am too. He said, are they ministers of Christ? He said, look, I done a lot more. Paul, he was like, man, he said, more labor, more beatings, more tribulation, more uphill battles. He said, in prisons more frequent, and in danger of death often. He said 5 times he was beaten by the Jews, 40 save one. Because that's in the law, that you couldn't beat a person 40 times. It had to be 39 and below, right? I believe there's like, you basically could kill a person. They said 5 times they beat him to within an inch of his life. 3 times he was beaten with rods, and once they stoned him. Now, if you're throwing rocks at a person, you really just have no regard for their life. If they die, they die. If they break a bone, they break a bone. If an eye get knocked out the socket, if they chip a tooth, you letting them fly. And then he said, 3 times I suffered shipwreck, and a night and a day have I spent in the deep. I don't know about y'all. I'm not a big fan of the ocean. I don't like the ocean. I can do me a pool. I might even could do a river.
That's because you can see what's going on.
Yeah, I can see. Right. And I don't expect a shark in a river.
Yeah, you can see what's going on.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe an alligator if it's been some recent sightings or something. But if it's a closed body of water and ain't no alligators nearby, they're not just gonna miraculously pop up. I'm not really expecting no predators in that water. I'll swim in that water. In the ocean, you are far from the top dog. And you can't see. You look down and it's just the abyss, and the abyss is looking back. Something touch your foot, oh God, like stress. And guess what? It's gonna be hours before you get rescued. Huh? Wasn't no GPS where somebody got your location. Oh, we on the way, we gonna come scoop you. Ain't no Coast Guard. Call somebody, pop a flare, we gonna come get you. Either you drift back to shore or the Lord sends a boat. Uncertainty on top of discomfort. And he said, I went through that 3 times. He said, I spent a day and a night. Woo.
He had that faith, boy.
Yeah.
For real.
Because it wasn't like when he got back to land, he like, man, I'm hanging it up. And it wasn't like when he got back to land, he said, man, I'm done traveling. I'll just stay where, no.
He said
Often.
I've been through this often. And it's crazy because a lot of people, even in our community, when somebody says something about you, you get so uptight and you ready to just go hide in the dens and the caves and never to be seen again. But you looking at what Paul went through, what Yahushua went through, is like, just imagine when Esau started turning up the heat, when we really start talking about Jacob's trouble.
You're right.
What you really gonna do?
You're right.
You know?
Yeah, not real talk. And it wasn't just a few people talking about him. You had whole countries, cities of people like, hang him, kill him. Hey, don't let him leave. Get that nigga. Like, oh, that. Whoa, it ain't, man. You know what? To have 10 men scrambling and like running, hawking you down is like, whoa. But to have a city, yeah, no, I can't. Nah, we going west because if we go back east, everything in the east is dangerous in this country. What?
Yeah, and what you got to understand is the reason why this was happening to, you know, Christ, the disciples, the apostle, is because they was laying down judgment.
Mm-hmm.
They was laying down judgment. They gave mercy when mercy was needed, and they did a whole bunch of rebuking.
Yeah.
They was rebuking folks, and this is the reason why they was going through the things that they was going through.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us stray away from that. We don't want to lay down judgment. We don't want to, I don't really want to be in that. That's because you don't want to endure that Christ, that cross that Christ told you to bear.
Mm-hmm.
That's the cross.
Mm.
And when you rest in judgment, that blood is on your hands, because the Most High is going to require that of you.
Con.
And he gonna ask you why you then, you know, when it was your time to speak and give your side of the story or judge a matter, and you just step back, you ain't worthy to be in my kingdom. Because there's leaders in Israel. There's 144,000 who's going to be judges and leaders of the people, and then you have the people. You have Yahushua and you have the Most High. But you ain't going to be in that number if you ain't trying to, you know, even with those people who are under the 144,000, you still have servants that you have to judge,
right,
and that you have to maintain. And if you just like a non-confrontational person, like, I don't really want to get into none of that. He said we are judges and priests.
Mm-hmm.
He said we're going to judge the angels. This is why they went through what they went through, because they was laying down the law. They was making sure people understood the law.
Let's pick it up, verse 26.
Verse 26. In journeyings often,
Uh-huh.
in perils of waters,
Uh-huh.
in perils of robbers,
Uh-huh.
in perils by mine own countrymen, in perils by the heathen, in perils in the cities, in perils in the wilderness, in perils in the sea, in perils among false brethren,
Uh-huh.
in weariness and painfulness, in watchings often, in hunger and in thirst, in fastings often, in cold and nakedness.
All of this stuff. He said, in perils of waters, in journeyings, in perils of robbers. He was going through some dangerous areas. Yeah, you got to cross a Dead Man's Road to get down there. Dead Man's Road.
Right.
That's where that's where the thieves is at. That's where it's a lot of crime. You got to get through there for the mission that Yahushua called you to do. He said, I'm going. In perils by his own people, because there were so many that were rejecting him and wanted to lay a finger. Like, you got to, man, you know how people make it their passion to hate? People making it their passion to kill him, to beat him, to catch him.
Yeah.
And then he said, not only was it Israel, because you think, all right, if I go home, at least I'm safe within the gates.
Right.
He said it was my own people, and when I left, the heathen hated me too. Because it wasn't like they like, oh, the other Israelites don't like you. Okay, we'll give you a pass. Come on over here to Canaan. And they like, man, we wish you would get caught slipping out here. That's an Israelite, and he's of notable. He's of a notable character, notable reputation. We can make a mockery of him. He was in danger by everything. It said in the city and in the wilderness. In the city, dangers is different from the wilderness. In the city, somebody might rob you. Somebody might, you might have some stray dogs, some bad situations. In the wilderness, you got animals.
Yeah.
You sitting there cooking a fish after fasting a couple of days, and it's a bear out there that ain't ate neither. Oh man. But read on.
In weariness and painfulness, in watchings often, in hunger and in thirst, in fasting often, in cold and nakedness. Besides those things that are without, that which cometh upon me daily, the care of all the churches.
And even though he was going through so much, even though he was like, this is a very notable man of the scriptures. He wrote the majority of the New Testament, certified by Christ, was with Christ, or called by Christ, but he was with him in the spirit, being spoken to directly. And he still had all these things going on in his life. And he said, and besides all this, so besides the fact that I was in danger of being robbed and in danger of being killed, and I didn't have food for days at a time, and I was cold, and I didn't always have the clothing to match the terrain that I was in, and I was in danger in this city and in danger in this wilderness, and the fact that I've been almost killed I don't know how many times, he said, I also got to take care of all these churches. Letters are getting written to him. We need you to give your judgment. We need you to pay a visit. We need you to address this matter. It wasn't like just because he was going through something, it was like, oh, everything else for the Most High is on pause.
Right.
He had a lot. And he endured his temptations. He endured his afflictions. And he continued to be that servant of the churches.
Bro, Paul was a wretch, bro. Before Christ stopped him in Damascus, he was a straight wretch. He was destroying people's lives, killing his own people. Right. He was like a lot of us who repented and came into this truth.
Right.
And for you to come in the truth and think that it's going to be a cakewalk,
yeah,
it's not. Look at the things that Paul went through. And he's worthy to partake of that because he knows what he's done. He knows the things that the wrong that he's done to Yahweh's church. He said, I can't even complain about the things that I'm going through. I can't complain about everything that I'm going through. He said, I'm going to just take it on the chin. And I'm going to still take care of the church because I had my part in killing the church. How many of you had a part of doing those things that you did in the world to your own people?
Right.
And you come into the truth and you're like, why is this happening to me? I thought when you come into the truth, it was going to be all good and it was going to be, we was all going to get along and it was going to be. No, that's not what the Bible never said that at all, ever. We just be excited and happy like, oh, I know who I am.
And you should rejoice.
Yeah, you should rejoice. But.
There it is, but
it's like, yeah, be happy, but read them scriptures because the scriptures going to tell you exactly what it is. It says that you're going to be offended often. You're going to have to go through trials and tribulations often. And then you're going to have to fast and pray. You're going to have to gather yourself and get it together because this is what our forefathers went through, and they're giving you the account. And he said, not only that, I went through all this stuff, and I'm still taking care of the church.
Right.
And what you say, a lot of us we fall back. Oh, I'm going through this. You know what? I'm going to stay home, Mark. Oh, I'm not feeling too good, sis.
It don't help.
It don't help.
And the crazy part about it is, this is where we really got to check our spirits. Of all the things that we drop the Most High first, often. Most of the time, if you're young and you're in school, or if you're old enough to be at work, right, you're spending a good portion of your time, 8 hours, 10 hours of your day dedicated to travel and then being at that place. You get tired, you don't say, I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to downgrade and I'm just going to live real humble, live out the car. You don't say that.
No.
You don't say, I'm going to stop doing these things over here in this area. I'm going to cut back on. Most of the time, it's like, I'm just going to save these few hours a week that I dedicate to the Most High. That's what I'm not going to do anymore. That's the worst thing to do. And like you said, Paul, before he was doing the most for the church, he was doing the most against it.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure there was some people who knew him from way back when and was like, man, I don't care if you repented. You kill my cousin.
Yep.
You kill my so-and-so.
Yep.
Yeah, I get that you speak in Christ now, but I'm finna get these lashes first. I'm finna beat him first. Because that's why he said, besides all this, take care of the churches. Some of that was related to his journeyings in righteousness. Some of that was, hey, he did a lot of dirt.
Yeah.
And now that he was no longer a Pharisee of such a high caliber, he didn't have the same pull, and he wasn't in that position in Rome. They're like, oh, we called him out here solo. Guess what? A lot of that stuff was coming full circle. Mm-hmm. And it took time for them to be like, okay, oh, that's Paul.
Bro, y'all got to understand, the Most High is going to always require a sacrifice. Mm-hmm. That's his sacrifice right there.
Yeah.
Getting shipwrecked, getting beat, getting stoned. But guess what? Yahushua always had him. The Most High always had him because he did not die. Mm-hmm. And just like he told David, he gave David a promise. He said the rod is not going to be taken away from Judah. Mm-hmm. So even though David did what he did by sleeping with a married woman, what's the judgment for that?
Death.
Death. That didn't happen to David, but guess what? Hell, his house got flipped, turned upside down. Mm-hmm. And he had to endure all of that. That is the sacrifice. The Most High said, I still require sacrifice.
Yeah. And at the end, when you go through all these, if you don't have no if you don't have no tribulation, you don't have a testimony. People love the story of the underdog, but nobody loves to be the underdog because it's uncomfortable.
Right. Facts.
Nobody, but guess what? I think it's like one UFC fighter. I can't remember. I kind of remember his name, but I can't pronounce it. His dad is a billionaire. It's only one. And I think it's not Lila Taporia. I can't remember who it is, but he's a champion right now. His dad is a billionaire. It's only one. Everybody else is going to tell you, I came from nothing. I hustled, I grinded, I started at the bottom, and everybody will start to love that person because they see, oh, you came from them hard times. Your testimony justifies or it brings so much more value to what you have now. Yep. So guess what? When people who are affected by Paul when he was Saul, when they read about these sacrifices or they sit up here and see all that he went through, it's like, okay, you worthy of being saved. Mm-hmm. You worthy of being forgiven because look at what you went through. The same thing with David. Yeah, he messed up and he messed up a family. But guess what? Look at all that he went through. And it wasn't like you don't have, matter of fact, we're going to talk about David, but it wasn't like he was just absolved from being king. Mm-hmm. Guess what? We still need your counsel. We still need wisdom. We still need decisions on war. We still need a leader to lead us out to war. All of these things. And then when you see what he went through in his house and in his personal life, it's like, damn, okay, well, I think it's safe to say you're worthy of forgiveness, worthy of being saved. Let's go to Psalms chapter 6. Let's start at verse 1. We're going to read 1 through 7.
Psalm 6.
Huh?
Psalm 6.
Uh-huh.
Psalms chapter 6.
It's one of my favorite Psalms personally.
Psalms chapter 6 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
O Lord, rebuke me not in thine anger, neither chasten me in thy hot displeasure.
Go ahead.
Have mercy upon me, O Lord, for I am weak. O Lord, heal me, for my bones are vexed. Mm-hmm. My soul is also vexed. Salakia, my soul is also sore vexed. But thou, O Lord, how long?
Go ahead.
Return, O Lord, deliver my soul. Oh, save me for thy mercy's sake.
Uh-huh.
For in death there is no remembrance of thee. In the grave, who shall give thee thanks? Uh-huh. I am weary with my groaning. All the night make I my bed to swim. I water my couch with my tears. Uh-huh. Mine eye is consumed because of grief. It waxed old because of all mine enemies.
Now, mind you, all praises, because it's crazy that we're talking about David, because he's next up in the list in the lesson. But all the things that David went through, all the things that he experienced, he lost a child. went through, and then from his living children came some of the worst things that he's ever experienced. I don't even know, how many fathers have experienced not only a son that's willing to kill them, but that is trying to kill them.
Right.
And before he tried to kill him, he was still in his influence and was trying to backdoor him, standing at the door, greeting people, giving them warm welcomes and kind greetings, kind words, judging their matters for him. He was trying to usurp his father. It was one of his daughters that was assaulted by his other son. Now, and stuff like, come on now. Something like that happening in your house or amongst your kids, they're going to be like, oh, them kids is weird. His kid's defiled. He must be. You can only imagine the way people was talking.
Yep.
Excuse me. You can only imagine the stuff that he was hearing on a regular basis. Mind you, he's a king. Enduring all these different things, but I don't see him wavering in his devotion. He continued to write psalms of repentance, of praise, of admiration, of hope. He continued to put in the work to hopefully fight to be worthy to get mercy. He was fighting for so long in the wars against the Lord's enemies, they had to stop him. Like, hey, David, bro, man, you getting old out here, man. Now, look, an old lion is still a lion, but you're getting slow. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got them reflexes like you used to. They had to save him from getting killed in battle. He said, look, it's time for you to go home, lest the light be snuffed out of Israel. Yep. You can help the people by staying alive. You can't be out here with us no more. They had to tell him to go home. He wasn't going home. You don't think he knew he was getting old? Yeah. You don't think he probably had a pinched nerve in his back, a hurt shoulder, a clicky elbow, and all that type of stuff? And he was like, man, I'm going to go until I die. And when you see those things, you say, okay, yeah, I'm just a man, but I feel like that's worthy of mercy. Yeah. That's worthy of forgiveness. And then because he starts to do so much good, it's like, well, damn, I think as you're worthy of salvation. We speak as men, but from the testimonies we see, that's a great testimony. In the midst of making a mistake. Let's go to 1 Samuel. And the crazy part about it is, I don't think people realize, because the Bible talk about David being comely, right? He was light-skinned. He was like what people would call a pretty boy. People don't even realize how much of an underdog he was. David was an underdog. All his life, he was not regarded like that. Now, maybe once he became king, yeah, because you're the king. Look, everybody going to love you when you in a great position. Right. That's when you get the most friends. But when he was just David, matter of fact, let's read about it. 1 Samuel 16, let's start at verse 4. We're going to read 4 through 11.
1 Samuel chapter 16 and verse 4.
Uh-huh.
And Samuel did that which the Lord spake, and came to Bethlehem, and the elders of the town trembled at his coming, and said, comest thou peaceably? Right. Verse 5, and he said, peaceably, I am come to sacrifice unto the Lord. Sanctify yourselves, and come with me to the sacrifice. And he sacrificed, and he sanctified Jesse and his sons, and called them to be sacrificed, and called them to the sacrifice. Mm-hmm. And it came to pass, when they were come, that he looked on Eliab, and said, surely the Lord's anointed is before him. Uh-huh. But the Lord said unto Samuel, look not on his countenance, or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord seeth not as men see. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart.
So Samuel is going into Bethlehem. He's going to find King David, right? So first thing, the people was like, whoa, the prophet of the Lord. Like, oh, man, we hope you hear on good news.
Hey, this just remind me, I know you always say I got a lot of kids, but we don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah.
Basically, Bruno gave like all the dark prophecies of what was gonna happen to people. They're like, Samuel, don't come over here with all that. mess."
Right. They was like, dang, you here for good news or bad news? He's like, nah, I ain't here for that. I'm just coming here to sacrifice, and I'm here to see Jesse. So now, mind you, right? Eliab, one of Jesse's sons. Samuel looked at him. He said, oh, that's got to be him. You know what I'm saying? He probably got some size on him. He big. It said the height of his stature, so he must have been tall, so tall that it was notable. He probably like 6'7", 6'5". Like, damn, that's a big dude. That must be the king. The Most High was like, nah, Samuel, I've refused him. I'm not looking at his stature. He said, that's what y'all see. I don't see that stuff. Go ahead.
Then Jesse called Abinadab, and made him pass before Samuel. And he said, neither have the Lord chosen this. Then Jesse made Shema to pass by. And he said, neither have the Lord chosen this.
Go ahead.
And again Jesse made 7 of his sons to pass before Samuel. And Samuel said unto Jesse, the Lord have not chosen these.
Go ahead.
And Samuel said unto Jesse, are here all thy children?
So hold on. Now Jesse hears, oh, snap, of one of my sons, the Lord's going to pick a king. So he like, all right, Eliab, man, go ahead, man. You know what I'm saying? This is my boy Eliab, you know what I'm saying? 6'5", he bench about 345, you know what I'm saying? He like, nah, not him. Then he like, all right, okay, well, you know, they ain't going to be junior, but it's probably going to be son, a bit of dad, man, you know what I'm saying? Big brother bench about 345, he probably hit about 315, you know what I'm saying? That's a bit of dad right there. Nah, not him neither. He like, oh, not a bit of that. All right, okay. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Just say it. Go ahead, Shema. Like, he calling all his sons.
Whole fashion show.
Yeah, he didn't call 7 of his sons. And then he like, oh, I don't know what to tell you, Samuel. Samuel, like, is this all your kids? Why did he have to ask? Because Jesse wasn't in a rush to go get the next one. All of these kids, he done went and got them. Oh, you picking a king? You must be talking about this one. Nah, not him? Okay, you must be talking about this one. Nah, not him? Okay, you must be talking. Then finally, Samuel was like, is this all your sons? Why did you stop? He did his own father. Jesse was not in a rush to go get David. He didn't go and get David. Samuel asked him, like, there's got to be somebody else because the Lord is telling me none of these guys are it. 7 of them. And then let's read on. Look what he said.
And Samuel said unto Jesse, are here all thy children? And he said, there remaineth yet the youngest, and behold, he keepeth the sheep.
He didn't even have him swap out with somebody for the day so he could come see the prophet. He didn't even say, okay, Eliab, Lord ain't made you king. I'm surprised. But all of my sons got to appear before the prophet. So you go out there and go find your brother David so he can make sure that he's in line. David ain't even in line. Jesse still got him out there with the sheep and ain't called him away from the sheep to come present himself. He's not even on his mind. He like, I know you're not talking about. He like, is this all your sons? Well, technically, I mean, I got one more. You talking about David? I mean, yeah, I got him out there with the animals. He out there with the sheep. You want me to get David? I'll go get David. Okay, you want to get David? You see Eliab, right? That's the thing, right? David was that underdog. He was that youngest little brother. And he light-skinned, right? David was the underdog. The battle in David and Goliath, if you was to do that battle today, you know how many, what they got, prize picks and all that, these betting apps and platforms, all the money would be on Goliath. David was underdog after underdog after underdog, and he prevailed because he continued to push, even when things was bleak. Even when he wasn't immediately chosen to be king, he continued on, right? Now, I don't know if he got to read the history or read the story of Samuel to be able to see that his father wasn't like, really even considering him, but nonetheless, that's what it was. He went out there to see his brothers to give them provisions during the battle. They're like, what you down here for? They're like, man, you not out here you must have just came to watch. Whole time he's a giant slayer. Right. that's usually the story, that's usually the testimony of the righteous. Overlooked, unseen, undervalued, underappreciated, underchosen until it comes to the Most High. Couple more. Let's go to 1 John. Actually, no. Before we get to that, let's go to Hebrews 11. Hebrews 11, we're going to read 32 through 38.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 32. And what shall I more say? For the time would fail me to tell of Gideon and of Barak and of Samson and of Japheth, of David also and Samuel, and of the prophets who through faith subdued kingdoms, wrote righteousness, obtained promises, stopped the mouths of lions, quenched the violence of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, out of the weakness were made strong, waxed valiant in fight, turned to fight the armies of the aliens. Women received their dead raised to life again, and others were tortured, not accepting deliverance that they might obtain a better resurrection. And others had trial of cruel mockings and scourgings, yea, moreover of bonds and imprisonment. They were stoned, they were sown asunder, were tempted, were slain with the sword. They wandered about in sheepskins and goatskin, being destitute, afflicted, tormented, of whom the world was not worthy. They wandered in deserts and in mountains and in dens and caves of the earth.
So look at this, right? He said, I don't have enough time to tell you about all these righteous people. He said, the time is going to fail me. First, he started going down some of the notable names, right? Gideon, Barak, Samson, right? He said through faith, all of these, they subdued kingdoms. They were able to change the course of history, not just for their lives, but for the lives of their progeny after them. Able to conquer through faith. Remember Goliath? The deal that the Philistines made, they said, if send out a man, if our champion kills your champion, y'all gonna be our servants. And if you guys are able to prevail, well, matter of fact, just stop there. If our champion kills your champion, you're gonna be our servants. You know how much different the land of Israel or our history would be today if David didn't have the faith he had? Imagine if instead of being in this land for 400 years, we was in Canaan for 400 years. Or we had just had an extended long stay of captivity because nobody was willing to put their trust in the Lord. Now, when we read it and the story's already complete, we feel like, oh, well, that was how it was supposed to happen, like it's no big deal. But, man, for the men that was there that day, because they really lived and really existed, I'm pretty sure it was terrifying. Like, oh, my God, what do we do? Surely this is it for our people. Like, oh, man, our wives is going to be done, our children. Maybe once we slaves, I'll be able to keep my house together. Like, people was defeated in their minds because they seen this big old dude out there laughing and yelling and mocking in the name of his gods. To David, he was like, oh, no, this is not how it's going. You defy the armies of the living Lord, of the living God. This is a real moment that took history, real exhortation that was happening in his mind as he approached the giant that had everybody in the valley spooked. That's a real moment in history. It said they quenched the violence of fire. We read about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. We read about Elijah calling fire from heaven. We read about all the things that the righteous were able to do, and sometimes it wasn't always glorious. Those are just the exciting stories. But then he goes on to say it wasn't just the glorious ones. Some people was tempted and tormented and mocked. They died painful, slow, agonizing deaths. choosing not to be delivered. Because remember, it was always a stipulation. When the woman and the 7 sons was tempted in 2 Maccabees 6 or 2 Maccabees 7, they told him, if you just eat this pork, we'll let you go. Wasn't no cameras. Wasn't nobody going to really know. They was just going to be able to escape with their lives and quietly be able to live a life where they know that they violated the law. And then the youngest son, he said, look, not only do you get to just leave, I'll even give you all these gifts and treasures and all these things. You'll live a life of luxury just for eating this pork one time. Now, mind you, there was Israelites out there that was doing it for free and that would have gladly partaken, especially if their life was on the line. Just like today's Israelites that eat pork and their life not on the line. It ain't no knife to their neck. It ain't no threat of death or of torture, because some people might, it's a lot. He said, but they chose rather to die than to give in and be delivered, seeking a better resurrection. And others had trial of cruel mockings and scourgings, yea, moreover, of bonds and imprisonment. Some people was thrown in jail, all the things that they had to endure. But guess what? That's what gives them their testimony, whether their names are individually written in this Bible or not, or whether we read of them. Because you read about when Judas Maccabeus died. I think it was what? It was 2,000 men that went with him to that battle. 1,200 of them fled and 800 stayed and died with him. You don't see 800 names be written in the scriptures, so-and-so the son of. But guess what? Their names is immortalized. They fought for our lives and our laws. They fought for the Most High and gave the ultimate sacrifice. They're awaiting the kingdom, certified,
Right.
stamped, approved.
Yes, sir.
Because of the testimony that they have. Because they chose to push through, even in the certainty of death. It's like, well, if this how it end, then this how it end. We're going to die anyway. Every man, I don't know, it's only 2 men I read about in the scriptures that didn't die. Elijah and Enoch. Every other man that has ever lived has died. And it hasn't always been a significant event. They was like, man, we could die today and our death's going to mean something. Not only in the history of man where we'll be written of, but man, it's going to mean something to the Most High God himself and to Yahweh Shai, our King. Today it's a good day to die. They chose to go all the way. They chose to push. Was that 38? Yeah, we did get there. He said they were stoned. They were sawed asunder. There were some of those that were cut in half, tempted, slain of the sword, and wandered in sheepskins and goatskins. That's not an expensive skin. If everybody's a sheep farmer and a goat farmer, and that's like a very common animal, people, we read about earlier in Genesis, the story of Joseph. It said they slew a kid of the goats to throw blood on Joseph's coat to make it seem like he died. Pretty sure they had so many of them that it wasn't a notable difference in the herd that one had died. Because he wasn't like, oh my God, where's my favorite goat? Or, you know what I'm saying? He didn't notice that they probably had thousands of them out there. They was probably eating lamb most nights. They in sheepskins and goatskins. You might be able to get that for free because they just so common. You got 3,000 sheep, 3,000 goats. You probably can't get rid of that. Get rid of some of them skins. Oh man, do you think I could? Or they cheap at best. It said, of whom the world was not worthy, they wandered in deserts and in mountains and in dens and caves of the earth. Now let's go to let's go actually to Revelation 18. Because guess what? That's what all of our forefathers had to endure, right? There were a few times of peace, but for the most part, our history as a people has been of war and of tribulation. And if we wasn't at war with the heathen, we was always experiencing internal conflict. We in our land, we know who we are, but now we having civil wars. And times of tribulation and times of anguish because of the sin that was taking place, right? Let's read 1 through 4.
Revelation chapter 18 and verse 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was litten with his glory. Salakia, lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
So guess what? All the things that we read of in the scriptures and all the things that we don't read of in the scriptures as far as what the spirits were doing, all of them are here. Here and now. You read about a spirit that was killing people, guess what? That spirit is out there. You read about a spirit of delusion, of lust, of betrayal, of sedition, of anger, of fury. All of these things, they are here and now in this land running amok. I seen a report earlier that said America was the top spender of OnlyFans in 2025. Everything that there is at an all-time high here. And it's worse and worse and worse. It says it's the habitation of devils. This is where the devils live. The hold of every foul spirit, they're stuck here. But then again, when they can run freely, why would they? Like, remember when Yahweh Shai told Legion to come out of that man, they said, where can we go? They was like, the next most available host is them pigs. I highly doubt that the devils that roam through Babylon here today, they have a hard time finding a host. I highly doubt they have a hard time finding a host. It's probably the easiest thing. They don't go to sleep, so they probably like, oh, a couple of thousand of my hosts just woke up. Time to go wreak some havoc. I'm gonna jump into this one, make him do this, jump into that one, make him do that. I'm gonna go over here. All these deaths that happened in a day, all these breakings of marriages that happened in a day, all these children born of adultery that happened in a day, all these violent crimes and random killings and people snapping and mental illness, all of that stuff, that's because all these devils are here. And they just flying around going crazy. They don't sleep. They don't eat. They don't get tired. Verse 3.
Verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication.
And they spread. They're allowed to spread. They're not just stuck in one place, and then if you leave the coasts of America, you good. America got their grubby fingers in all these other countries. They go into these other countries and they opening up fast food restaurants. They're not going on humanitarian missions. They like, let's give them the garbage that our people eat. America go to these other countries to give them Wi-Fi, like they doing something heroic to give these people internet. They live in pure innocent lives on a mountainside. Couple of goats, a horse or two, living a simple life. Next thing you know, here go internet, here goes some Starlink. Have you heard of Pornhub? Have you heard of so-and-so? Have you heard of OnlyFans? No, what is this? Like, oh, or whatever language they speak. They're like, oh, let me show you, because that's how they continue. You giving the spirit another host, it's like a virus. Yeah. We see all these movies where all these people are zombies, right? And all these zombies want to do is either they want to devour the people who are not infected or they want to infect them. And we sit up here and be like, whoa, that movie was crazy. No, let me go back to my life that's totally unlike. No, that's exactly what you live. Tell somebody you're not engaging in all this wickedness and they act like it's something wrong with you.
Right.
I don't celebrate Christmas. Why not? It's pagan. What does that have to do with like, people act like you crazy for trying to choose the right path. Right. No, I don't watch porn. That's great, bro. I don't know how, like, bro, that's what's happening in this land so prevalently. It's like an amazing feat when someone when someone's not sick. Right. And it make all the other zombies turn and focus on you. That one's different. And they can't wait to infect you. For whatever reason, it seemed like they got skin in the game. Guess what? Because that spirit got its hand up in them, making them speak and making them talk and move. Infect him, infect her, grab him, seize him, teach him this, teach him that. Then them spirits, they go back and they reason within themselves. They say, okay, couldn't get him with lust. Hey, you a deceitful spirit, right? Yes. Come with me. Let me go and deceive this man, and then I'll get him to fall into the lust. Let me go and deceive him, and then I'll get him to fall into paganism and fall into being polytheistic, a spiritual whore. It's all here. America don't hide this stuff. And it's not really through paywalls like that. Most of this stuff, you can get on the internet and get whatever you want. You can get drugs. You can buy people. You can watch all different types of things, whether you want to watch some sexual or explicit content or you want to watch somebody die. It's on all these platforms. You interested in death and gore? Let me show you a website. A couple of Instagram pages of both sides of every conflict going back to Iraq. Everything that anyone's ever been interested in or ever will be interested in. And you see all this stuff that's coming up about the Diddy documentary. Mm-hmm. You see the Epstein file just got released. What was that? Last Friday. All these higher up in elites that are in this country going to an island so they can do what they want to do with kids. Yeah. It's not like, oh my gosh, somebody's strange uncle. You're talking about prominent public figures. Movie stars, actresses, politicians, presidents, all on this list, partaking of the fornication. Dignitaries from other countries, partakers.
Your local police force.
Your local police force. Everybody's partaking. Everybody wants a slice of what Babylon has to offer. And everyone that's not here, they're fighting to get here. Thinking that this is going to be a dream. Thinking that this is going to be so beautiful and America is just this place of the land and the home of the, whatever it is. This is your destruction.
Because a lot of those things are not allowed in those other countries.
Right.
And a lot of people is so damn wicked. They want those freedoms to do those things.
Right.
It's crazy.
This is your destruction waiting on you. This is a bear trap. And as soon as it's a landmine. As soon as you overstep, it's going to get you. And it's going to destroy you.
And you know what's crazy? Christians are the worst ones. They're the worst ones because they're so deceived that they don't think that the Most High will allow certain things to happen. Like this one chick, she went to a church and she was acting like she did an experiment. She acted like she was homeless and she didn't have no diapers for her baby and everything to see if they would help. Yeah. And lo and behold, the church did not help. But then you got a Christian woman who did a whole post about it like, oh, that's the work of the enemy. God will never allow no one to do that. She's a demon. And I said, sister, go read the Bible. Like, the Most High allowed certain spirits to do certain things. Like, I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of his prophets. Right. To deceive them. And I was dealing with a Ahab. Mm-hmm. So, like, just deceived. Just naive to what's going on. Just don't understand, like, everything is just rainbows. Yeah, it's foolishness. But them spirits is out there. Even the sister who did it, whether it was a demon owner or not, she exposed the church. Right. I think that was a good thing because it's like, look what these people doing. They taking all this money and they ain't helping nobody. Right. Just filling their pockets.
And that's only a fraction of it. Even the people that be sitting up here, a lot of the people that be on the outside of Christian churches, I be seeing a lot of like people make content and influencers and stuff. Oh, when I gave my life to God, and I'm like, you still wicked. You still don't know the Most High. First and foremost, if you're not an Israelite, you really fighting the wrong battle. You might as well go out there and get what you can get. Right. Right. But if you are an Israelite and you're not keeping the commandments, you still not on the right path. Mm-hmm. Now, to man, you might seem righteous. To man, you might be accepted. But when you're not there yet. Let's read on. Where we at? Verse 3?
Verse 3. Uh-huh. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornications. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
America going from country to country, introducing whatever it is they want to. They like, oh, we're going to create jobs. We're going to create this. We're going to create that. You need somebody to build your infrastructure so you can get this internet. You need somebody to work at these McDonald's. That's going to be income and revenue. You need somebody that's going to do this and go do that. And it becomes all these industries, and these countries are getting rich.
Come on. Bro, it says the merchants wax rich through the abundance of her delicacies. The most delicate thing that America has is the children of Israel.
Ooh, say that.
And the nations come here, and it's a science. They know. Them niggas over there, they love chicken.
Oh, yeah.
They love hair products. They love all these
That's
things.
crazy.
Yeah.
Right. No, you're right.
7-Eleven, they know exactly what to sell you. It's all in the hood. And that's how they waxing rich, through us.
Crazy.
So they take the money and they take it back to their countries. And all the nations are just the merchants. They're getting rich off of it.
No lie. We buy it's a real popular Louisiana, right?
The best one.
Yeah, the best Louisiana. They got
All the niggas.
They got all the awards in there. They got, I don't know what it's called, like a chicken award. They got the best chicken 3 years, 4 years running, right?
Yeah.
You go in there, you want chicken fried rice or egg roll? Okay, fried rice. You want fried rice? Okay, soda, no soda. You want, okay, what, for fries or roll? I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
How y'all get the best chicken recipe?
Yeah. And look, they sell out every
day.
single day.
They'll tell you, and it ain't like, oh, because you would think like, oh, they gonna be happy to get a sale. They do not care.
They don't care.
You go in there at 9:45, they close at 15. They be like, look, this is the chicken we got. You want to buy or no? This is what we got. We not frying nothing for you. We not restarting the grill.
Nope.
We not interested in no money because
Nope.
it's gonna be a line out the door tomorrow morning.
Yep. I mean, all day long, it's a line.
All day, every day.
Every day. So, yeah.
Like you said, though, it's crazy. The 7-Elevens, they in the gutter.
Bro, donut shops.
Donut shop. Oh, my goodness.
Niggas love donuts and coffee.
Ain't that crazy?
They're getting rich off of that, bro.
Damn.
Off of donuts.
They go in the hood. They go in the liquor store.
Yes,
My friend,
bro.
what do you want? My friend. They got
Yes,
their
sir.
little music playing. They got the little. They got all that, and they trying to sell to you, Negro.
And
Latino.
the crazy thing is like we only see like the East Indians, the Arabs, the Chinese, but you got Ethiopians who got shops out here too,
Oh yeah.
who be selling cigarettes and all the other stuff to our people. It's all of them. When it says the nations,
Yeah.
literally,
They come
The
out here, they get
nations.
it good.
yes.
And they already know who to go sell to. They not really trying to go open up a Rolex store and go to Santa Monica, Fairfax. They said, I already know where I'm gonna make my money at.
Yep.
Going to the hood. I'm going to Watts. I'm going to Compton. I'm going to Gardena. Going to Lancaster. I'm going where it's ghetto because they gonna spend.
Yep. Put their money together, open up a swap meet. You got 15 jewelry stores and one swap meet, and
Right.
all the Chinese is running it.
It's like how they even making money, but they are.
Yep.
They probably family or something.
Probably. But they mining gold over there in
Right.
Sierra Leone and Ghana and all those places, and bringing the gold back here and selling it to you and upcharging you and everything else.
China has a huge conglomerate in Africa
Yes, sir.
that is taking massive advantage
Yes,
of
sir.
the people.
Yep.
So they probably ship that to China, put that in the boat in the shipping containers, just like all the rest of these products that's made in China. Then they end up at the Slauson. Now they done got a chain for probably $80, and they gonna sell it to you for $1,000,
Yep.
$1,200.
Yep.
Everybody's getting rich, and everybody wants. They like, oh yeah, I got to go where the children of Israel are. Then they'll employ you too.
Come on.
They got some 10 tribes. Who you think that's back? Now the Chinese own it. They the ones most of the time dealing with the money, but the 10 tribes be in there doing the work. They be the ones that staying late cleaning up. They be the ones that staying late dealing with the grease and all the hard stuff. That's when the Chinese, they be going home. The 10 tribes be back there working. making them rich.
They know not to hire the dark niggas because the dark niggas gonna run off on the plug.
They gonna be eating back there, tearing that chicken up.
They gonna run off on the plug.
Nah, for real. That's how it is, though. This is what we face, right?
Come.
We read about our forefathers. We read about all those the good and the bad examples. We read about all the things that have already happened and already set in stone in history. Now it's our turn to fight, to overcome, to endure. You're going to have your temptations. It might be some of the worst days or a couple of the worst years of your life.
Come.
And you're going to be able to be written or be approved.
Come.
We are in the worst time that has ever been or will ever be. And this country, so we're in the worst time in general, right? But then this country specifically is prophesied to be the worst of the worst of the worst.
Absolutely. Hands down. Hands down.
We read about the children of Israel sacrificing their kids, and we like, oh, that's crazy. Bro, you know how many kids die at Planned Parenthood?
Yeah.
It's way worse.
Yeah. Everybody is willing to do wickedness.
Yeah.
It's like back in the Maccabees, it was like, no, we not, like you said earlier, we not doing this. We're not eating that pork. Everything is, I'm willing to do that.
Right.
I'll do it.
People, that's how wicked this world is. A young woman who ain't got no business engaging in sexual relations, she's 16. She go out there and she get pregnant. It'll be her own mama, her grandma, her cousins, her sisters. You need to go get rid of that baby. You got your whole life to look for. What? It's people that are supposed to protect you, encouraging you to do the wickedness. That's how deeply rooted that wickedness is here. Mm-hmm. People, it's like a light thing to go and kill a child. It's a light thing to go and sell your kids into Hollywood, hoping that they get famous. Look at the R. Kelly thing. Yep. All these parents was letting their kid. You telling me you let your 15-year-old daughter go with this 38-year-old man, and you thought he was gonna make her a star. And you didn't have hardly no contact with her. Oh, mom, I'm just busy. Just been busy. Man, I'll be damned. That's my child. You busy? You ain't that busy. Right. First of all, you're not going to no mansion with no grown man. Mm-hmm. But guess what? People are ready to sell their kids. Yeah, they knew what was going on. They're not stupid, but they like, but at least, hopefully, yeah, exactly. They pimping them out. Hopefully, you at least get rich. Somebody gave their child a pep talk like, well, if that does happen, try to get pregnant or do this with poke a hole, because then you locked in for life. Now it's a business. 20 years later, after a lot of that stuff was going on, a lot of these women do that. They poking holes in condoms and trying to get in bed with these superstars, these athletes, with these millionaires. And they're like, all I got to do is get a baby. They'll play the role for 2 years. Oh, I couldn't let you pay for dinner. Oh, and you like, oh, man, she just so humble. She loved me for me. Idiots. Got him.
Got him.
Then she get that ring. She get that paperwork. Oh, and she pregnant. She out of there. Made off with the bank. Now I need $25,000 a month to maintain my lifestyle. What? I've been your lifestyle. What lifestyle you got outside of me? They got the bag. They willing to get married. They willing to have kids for the bag. Yep. That's the type of stuff we experiencing nowadays. Long-term prostitution.
Come on.
Even the average woman is willing to prostitute herself out. If you ain't paying my bills, if you ain't gonna, I got this much going on per month. And if you're not willing to, it's like, so you for sale? Basically what you're saying is when you detail all your bills online, see, it's $1,600 a month. It's $2,600 a month. It's $4,000 a month. So anybody making enough to support that, you for sale. Mm-hmm. Hop in your DM, talk to you. How much do you make? Oh, I'm making $100,000. Oh, cha-ching. Yeah, we can go on a date. You selling yourself. Yep. you're a prostitute too. That's how evil everything is. Even down to the most simple interactions and the most simple of circumstance, there's wickedness afoot. There's wickedness present. Yeah. And an undertone of sin. Mm-hmm. This is the cage of every hateful bird. Mm-hmm. It is made to break Israelites. This place is made to poison Israelites, Israelite minds, and Israelite spirits.
Yeah.
It's made to destroy you. Man, you got little kids that got access to internet.
Yeah.
They sitting on that iPad from a toddler. Can't read or write or can't read legibly. They know how to type in YouTube. They know how to, excuse me. They know how to get to their favorite websites and their favorite shows.
That's crazy that you said that. This place is literally made, designed, and crafted.
Yes.
To destroy you.
So
to destroy us.
You keep running in the hard times, and then Esau, they sit up here and act like you crazy when you say that. You guys blame everything on slavery. You blame everything on the white man. You blame, bro. Every time 10, 20 years go by, you get all these declassified FBI documents, CIA documents of experiments that were going on. All the redlining techniques and higher mortgages that were being given to so-called minorities. For those that have a house, for these parents and grandparents that actually got a house, it was a miracle. Because they was getting charged crazy just to be able to do the right thing. Because they'll see on that application, oh, black? Let me put these papers up and grab these papers here. You don't get 4%. You'll take 11. You don't get 18% credit card. You'll take 35.99. And they know. It's only gonna matter. It's only gonna be a matter of time. Give him 500. See what he do. Oh, he been surviving for a little while. Increase his credit limit. Give him 1,200. Then you sitting there with all that money. You fall on hard times, and you like, dang, I gotta use this to cover a bill. Mm-hmm. Swipe it and forget. Then you like, man, I'm hungry tonight. I don't really feel like cooking. Swipe and forget. You need something else. Need something else. Need something else. Now you in debt. You paying interest for long after what you should have on that money. Mm-hmm. And they know who to give it to.
Yeah.
It seemed like when you go broke, matter of fact, that's when you're going to get the most offers. How all these people know you broke? You got a mailbox full of offers because everybody wants to profit off your misfortune. Mm-hmm. They got 100. You got 100 loan offers because everybody know you tight for money. Yep. And they gonna treat you like a slave, a cog in the machine. Go ahead and sign here. Go ahead and sign there. You hereby authorize, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and then in the state of California, legally, we're allowed to take $500. You'd be like, damn, for real? I thought I was getting loaned $3,500. You telling me you taking $500 off the rip before I even get the money? Yes, sir. It's standard procedure in the state of California. You'll still get $3,000, but the interest rate do not change, nor does what you have to pay interest on. You're paying interest on $3,500. Everybody getting their money off the Israelite. And you better not complain about it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Let's stay in Revelation. Let's
Want
go.
me to finish that verse 4?
Colin, go ahead and finish that.
Verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues.
He said, we got to get out of here. We might not be able to get out of here physically, but we got to get away from the ways that they're constantly teaching us. Mm-hmm. Everything that they've normalized, most of it is directly against God, and that's why they've normalized it. Directly against God. The praising of other gods, the envying of our oppressors.
Yeah.
It's a reason that they doing it, because they've sat down in committees and in private buildings and in private conversations you ain't gonna never be invited to decide how do we destroy the Israelite. Yeah. It's continuous. Yeah. Selling to the Israelite, destroying the Israelite, it's big business. Yep. Big business. They funding all these Christmas movies. They got a budget. They put it in theaters. Guess who's going to see it? Israelites. That's where they want to make their money. Yeah. They want to see how many Israelites is going to be down there. Then you pay for your own destruction. You being influenced. You influencing your kids. And you paying for them to continue to perpetuate idolatry. Year after year. Let's get to last two. Let's go to stay in Revelation. Let's go to 3 and 21.
Revelation chapter 3.
Actually, Let's go to 1 John real quick. That's going to be the last scripture. Let's go to 1 John. Because we just talked about how... Revelation going to be the last one. We just talked about how this place is geared towards destroying us, right? Let's go to 1 John 3 and 20.
1 John chapter 3 and verse 20.
Uh-huh.
For if our heart condemn us, God is greater than our heart and knoweth all things.
So guess what? Sometimes, that's why I said the heart is deceitful. Man, your heart can take you through 100 different emotions in one day if you let it. All these different things that you experience, all these different things that come across your mind, all these different things that affect you, all these different things that plague you. He said, if your heart condemn you, know that God is greater. Mm-hmm. Because guess what? They want you to feel doubt. They want you to feel hopeless. You know how many people just end up giving in to their circumstances because they didn't experience hard times for so long? You born into poverty, you born on Section 8, you born on EBT, you born with roaches and bed bugs. And by the time you 15, you done endured a decade of it. Mm-hmm. I might as well just give up. You got kids. Man, I ain't gonna never leave the hood. All I gotta do, and when I get older, is have enough kids where I can get this much in food stamps and I'm good. Got kids out there. Who do you want to be like when I grow up? My idol, King Von. Everybody like the CIA taking laps. They destroyed the community and destroyed the minds of the Israelite. Even those who, like, man, you got everybody feeling like this is a hopeless endeavor. Yeah. That's exactly what they want you to think. Because when you feel destroyed and you feel taken out and distraught, first thing is you're going to look for some pleasure. You're going to look for some reprieve. Go out there, go hit that club Friday night. Break the Sabbath. Take you a woman home. That's fornication. Then you get up and get up on Sunday morning and go pray to an idol. They get you on big sin, spiritual felonies weekend after weekend. Oh, you can't get a woman? Don't worry about it. Turn on that cell phone. It's readily available. Pick your poison. Mm-hmm. What you like? You like women? You like money? You like cars? What you want? We got something for you. Pick which one you desire. All the while, it's to your own destruction. Now let's go to Revelation 3. And 21.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 21. To him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame and am set down with my Father in his throne.
He said, to him that overcometh. Because guess what? It's going to be a struggle to overcome. Nobody's saying it's not hard. I can't stand when people be like, well, you just got, like, bro, don't make it seem like it's simple. Right. We're at a deficit. We're behind enemy lines. Behind enemy lines as a nation. But then, if it's only 1/3 of Israel that's going to be saved, then the wicked outnumber us at least 2-1. We're behind enemy lines and at a deficit. Trying to fight for our minds, trying to fight for our conscience, trying to fight for our right to follow our God. And we're severely outnumbered. Mm-hmm. It's a lot to overcome. It's a lot that we face. The good thing is we have assurance and hope that the battle is already won. We've already been told how it ends and what's to come. Now it's up to us to push. It's up to us to make those decisions moment to moment, day after day, year after year, that align with the Heavenly Father, that align with righteousness, that align with a higher version of ourselves that we might not even have seen yet. A more righteous you, a more excellent you, a stronger you, a braver you, a more faithful you. Because they exist, but you have to manifest, as they say, that person. You have to do the things that are written in this Bible to bring to fruition the works of the Spirit, the fruits of the Spirit, to be what our people need. A sign of hope. You know, it's crazy. Even, and this is the last thing I'm going to say. Superman, he wear the S, what we call an S on his chest. He said, on my planet, this stands for hope. He's not wearing an S for Superman. He said, this is a sign of hope.
Right.
When he flies around and he saves the day and he's doing these incredible things, despite the fact that he has so many enemies, despite the fact that he's only vulnerable to one thing, and it seems like that one thing, everybody has it, despite everything that he has to overcome, the real thing behind Superman is he's a sign of hope. What he wears on his chest is supposed to be a sign of hope. That's what he really does. All praise to the Most High.
Yeah, one last thing.
Con.
I'm a paraphrase, but the scriptures say that anything that was meant, for your destruction or to harm you, I'll turn that into good.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another scripture that say that you will eat poison and live.
Mm-hmm.
So just thinking about the lesson and the title of it, push. Every obstacle that's been put in front of the children of Israel, from so-called blacks and Latinos and Native Americans, we've been able to multiply abundantly.
Right.
And that's through the Most High, because the Most High said that my heritage will never be destroyed. As long as the stars and the moon and the sun is out, the children of Israel is always going to be here. And once you start to understand why things are the way they are, a lot of our people will get out of the mindset, well, where was God when this was happening? But once you get a different outlook, you start to understand, like, dang, they put this in our food.
Right.
They try to kill us with smallpox and the COVID vaccine, and we still living. Then you like, okay, there's a God that really loved the children of Israel.
Facts.
Because we still standing. No matter what they do, no matter what they throw at us, we're still able to multiply. And if that's not a clear indication and a sign to keep pushing forward, and knowing that the kingdom is at hand and the Most High is going to always protect us, and Yahushua and his angels are going to always fight for us, then I don't know what else, to give you or to tell you. But just with that, just keep pushing forward and knowing that the Most High is on our side as long as we continue to keep his commandments.
Con. All praises.
Con.
Shalom.